Well, hello and welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. And if you look behind me, I am in front of the beautiful Meeker Historical Museum. It's something that we have in our neighborhood that is absolutely beautiful. And I wanted to get on the grounds, but they weren't open yet. So I figured, you know what? It's a beautiful day out. I'm just going to park here and I'm going to have this beautiful background and I'm going to talk to you guys. So really what I want to talk to you about today is I want to talk to you about treating yourself like gold and paying the difference when you need to because you're worthy. All right, so let's talk about what that means. In life, we're kind of accustomed to cutting corners and to look for the discounts and all of these different things, but there is more than just what we save, from our pocketbook. There are costs to always trying to get a better deal, to cut corners. And really, if we look at this from a metaphysical and even a philosophical outlook, a lot of times we're applying, cutting these corners to the value that we place on ourselves. And what I mean by this, I'll give you an example. I used to, wear contacts. I can't wear them now, but I used to wear contacts and I would always try and get the cheapest contacts that I could get. And one day it dawned on me when my eyesight was getting even worse that this was the stupidest thing that I was doing, because I'm putting these inside my eyes. This is something that touches an organ of my body that if ruined, I don't get another one. These are the only eyes that I'm going to get. And so why am I trying to put the worst quality on something that is going to be touching an organ in which I only get two of and you can't replace? Okay. So it started to dawn on me with that. And then also, started to think about, well, how is that really applied even to food, right? Going out and getting the cheapest food means that you're getting the least amount of nutrition. You're getting the most food for the least amount of nutrition. You only have one body, and that body requires good nutrition. So in order to treat yourself like gold, I started, to look at organic food and non-GMO, and I started to pay the difference. Okay. And then recently this was driven home for me again because I made a stupid choice, which was, it was time to renew my health insurance. And I had to, they were changing something that was going to require me to have to pay more. And in my kind of old school poverty thinking, I think I panicked and I went back to that, get everything as cheap as you can. Well, in your 50s, that's not the most important thing because you have health things that you've got to consider now. These things are really important. When you're young, you don't care about changing a doctor constantly every year that you're going to renew. You don't care about those things. But when you're in your 50s, you do. And so, yeah, I got the cheapest insurance, which is also somewhat crappy because it's basically like having coupons for insurance. But the worst part of that was not only just, yes, I saved money and I was able to save a monthly fee, but now I have all these additional worries on top of, anything that might happen and not feeling that security. But I also really cheated myself, and I cheated myself out of dignity. And this is why I say, that we have to start looking at not cheating ourselves and not cutting ourselves off or treating ourselves as less than gold, because we only get one us. We only get two pairs, one pair of eyes. And, we only get one body, and there's things inside our body we have to take care of, and we can do that with food and other things. But when we're just cutting corners all the time, really what we're saying is, I'm not worthy, or we're living also in a panic, right? We're living in poverty thinking where we're afraid to spend anything. And we may come by those fears, honestly. I know that I do. And my mind, when it came time to renew, now that I look back on it, I was so afraid that I wouldn't have what I needed, that it made me make a stupid choice, which was just to go for the cheaper stuff, and the cost in that, I found out recently, was my dignity. because going into these places that I was assigned to get healthcare was really oppressive environment. Um, they wouldn't look you in the eye. You were treated like a number. And I had to really go out of my way to find other sources where I could still now get care and maintain my dignity. And it was all because I made a choice to not treat myself valuable by looking for something that was the bottom, cheapest that I could get, when it was the thing that was going to take care of me. And sometimes we do this to ourselves. You know, we don't take care of ourselves. We take care of everybody else, and we think of ourselves last. And so in this episode, I really want you to focus on choosing the right things for yourself. So one is choose the right, whether it's a healthcare plan or food or whatever it is that's care for yourself, choose the right care plan for yourself, and don't be thinking about the cheapest, think about the best quality, okay? The next thing is choose dignity for yourself. If you're making a choice that is going to sacrifice the dignity that you're going to have, or it's going to place you in an oppressive and poverty thinking, either atmosphere or mentality, don't do that to yourself, okay? Choose a place where you know that you are going to be treated and also that's in alignment. So I'll give you an example of that is I found a really modern place, and I chose instead now to, I'm going to be charged. I'll give you just the reality of this. If my copay is $50 to go where they tell me to go, but I can go to urgent care, anyone that I want. Okay. The difference is it's going to cost me $100 in a copay. Ultimately, I decided to go to the place that treated me with dignity, that was modern and up to my standards, and that they looked me in the eye and they treated me like a person, and I got actually good quality care. But I had to pay now $50 more than the cheapest place that I chose, right? That they assigned me because of the insurance that I chose. I made the conscious decision that I'm worth the $50 difference, okay? And here's the funny thing of how it works out. An office visit might cost $300 or more. Let's say $300, I think, in $27. They're only going to pay $125 of that, and $50 of that would have been a normal copay, $100 at an urgent care, which means they're only going to pay $25 out of my visit. Now, this is because of the insurance that I chose, but I decided I was worthy of it. Oh, train. I think that was the sounder. So the reality is that I had to, because of the original choices that I made, there were repercussions to that original choice. And I decided ultimately that I needed to stop thinking about just the money, because really I had money to pay the difference. Not everybody is in that situation. And there's been, trust me, plenty of times when I was younger where I had to make a choice based on money, because it was like eat or, you know what I mean? Like when you're just coming up and you do have to make choices like that. But I'm not in that place now, but my mentality was keeping me in that poverty thinking. And it was a trigger from the past that made me go back to that poverty thinking and just to make sure that I had something locked in. But the thing that locked in had a human cost to it, and it had a dignity cost to it. And so what I'm saying is that in life, especially as you get older, you need to think about treating yourself as the quality that you are, treating yourself like gold. And if you aren't happy with the care or something that's going on in your life, then put yourself in a position where you're treated the way you want to be, how you want to be treated, and you're treated by the standard of value in yourself that you hold for yourself. Does that make sense? So I know that was like a mouthful, but at the end of the day, it becomes about really valuing yourself and making sure that you're putting yourself in situations where the entire situation and all the people that you're surrounding yourself with understand your value and they treat you with dignity. I just want you to think about that, and I want you to think about areas of your life where maybe you are cutting corners because you're stuck in this poverty thinking, or you're stuck in a fear-based thinking of not having enough. And I want you to make a plan for, what you can do, even if you're stuck in a situation where, like I said, sometimes you don't have enough money to pay the difference. Do the best that you can. Like if it's an insurance related thing, you can switch providers. You can switch within your insurance to a different location. So if you happen to find a location that, say in this instance, the location is just really oppressive and it's you just want to flee it the minute you get there, then you get back on the phone with your insurance provider and you tell them, I want to find something different, and you start searching a place that is more in alignment with you. You can do that, and you're worth the work. And this is not just in regards, this is not talking just about insurance. This is really just talking about the dignity and the value that you place on yourself, and that you're worthy of any amount of money that it takes to keep you in alignment with that belief system that you're worthy. Okay. So that has been this week's Wisdom Wednesday. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this, and please make sure to like and subscribe and watch every week. Ring the bell, the notification bell, so you know when I upload a new video. And it's been a pleasure, and I will see you guys again next week. Thank you. And I hope that you like the background. I think it's just so pretty. Okay, bye-bye.